Hey, what's up, guys? This is Big Rob's Little Podcast, and today I am interviewing a indie wrestler known as BMD, Brett Michael David. I want to take time to thank you for being on my podcast tonight.
For having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. I know I've been to a couple of events that I've seen you work at. Most recent being MWO, Millennials Wrestling Organization.
Ah,
Uh,
cool, cool.
and you went up against Jeff Black, or I think he was known as Hardcore Hick.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Hardcore Hick, Funky Fresh, Jeff Black, something or other.
yeah. Um, I gotta say though, you are doing quite well, for sure.
Thanks,
I
man.
mean, despite you being a heel and all, I gotta say you're probably one of my favorites right now.
Oh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that.
No problem. So tell me a little bit about yourself and your illustrious career so far, and also give me two of your favorite matches that you've had.
Cool, good question. So I've been training about 2 years now. I started at Battle Arts Academy under Santino Morella at the school out there in Mississauga. And then most recently, the past year and a bit, I've been at Hamilton Pro with Rip Impact. Spent some time in St. Louis. I trained with Michael Elgin for a little bit as well. But yeah, it's going pretty well. The past year, it's been like every single weekend, like matches like everywhere. You get to see me as a heel in Port Colborne. I don't like Port Colborne at all, but I think everywhere else, I'm pretty babyface. But as far as like favorite matches so far, I've got to wrestle Rip a couple times, and every time that's a lot of fun. But I recently had a tag team match where I actually teamed with Rip, and we faced the Super Smash Brothers. I don't know if you know them, but they're awesome. So that was I'd say right now that was probably my favorite match. Aside from I just recently I've been working for a promotion, Alpha One Wrestling,
Right.
uh, and I had a 5-way scramble with Mark Wheeler, Shane Saber, Myron Reed, and Josh Briggs. I'd say that's right up there, man. That was an awesome match.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not too knowledgeable about Super Smash Bros. Because obviously I haven't been out to events outside of the Niagara region. I'm gonna try and get up to like Alpha One events in Hamilton if I can, but it's kind of hard sometimes.
For sure, man. Yeah, especially like like you got to find someone to drive with, and like it can be hard. I'm hoping we were in St. Catharines. That's where I made my Alpha One debut. Was actually in St. Catharines. I'm hoping they go back there too because I got family out there too. So it's always nice to be in St. Catharines area.
Right. Um, Next question I got for you. Out of all the amazing talent you went up against, who has been your favorite worker that you've went against in the squared circle?
Oh, good question. I have like a pretty long, like heated rivalry, I guess you could say, with Dylan Daniels. That's been a guy I've wrestled multiple times when I first started getting going. Those matches are always, excuse me, pretty fun. Um, Singles wrestler, oh man, it's so hard to say. This weekend, actually, like I haven't wrestled him yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be my favorite match. I get to wrestle Josh Alexander on Sunday. That should be interesting. I feel like that would be my favorite match, but other than that, I would probably say Rip Impact, man. Rip Impact is fun to wrestle. He's good. He's my trainer. It's always fun to get in there with him.
Yeah, Rip's a great guy for sure. Um, Next question I have for you. Who inspired you to become the best that you can possibly be right now? Who inspired you to be an independent wrestler?
Man, another good question. Yeah, I've been watching it my whole life. Like I've always been a fan, um, ever since I can remember. So I've always loved the WWE and watched those guys. But really, one of the guys that like really got me back, like it almost got me back into wrestling was CM Punk. Like when I started watching it, got in high school, kind of fell out of it, and then he was a guy that really like, excuse me, he brought me back into it. And then I started watching it more and more. And then I went to an Alpha One show in Hamilton, and that's when I got into independent wrestling and thought I can do this too. So a lot of influences, man. But I would say Punk is probably the guy that got me right back into it full time.
For sure. So yeah, CM Punk. Kind of miss him in the WWE right now, unfortunately.
Oh
You
man,
know,
he would if he ever comes back, it's gonna be the biggest pop ever.
for
It's
sure, I
gonna be
agree
ridiculous.
with you on that one. The next question: with you being an independent wrestler right now, do you have any future intentions with the wrestling business, despite you being obviously with Alpha One and CWO, independent companies like that? Do you think you'll go bigger than that?
You know what? Like, I'd like to. I mean, that's the goal. I want to make something out of this. I really want to me like, I'd love to be on TV, man. Like, if that's with WWE, that's with Impact, that's with Ring of Honor. I want to get to that level. It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of time and a lot of dedication, and I'm ready to do that. So, whatever it takes for me to get to that level, that's where I want to go. Right now, the independents are super hot. So, like, if I can make a living on the independents, that's where I want to be, man.
Nice. So I'm gonna go to the viewers for a Q&A now.
Cool.
We have three apparently watching right now. I don't know if any of them are gonna leave a comment, so I'll give it a few seconds.
Yeah, man. No, fire away, guys. If you're interested, ask me whatever you want.
Yeah, this is the one and only chance to ask BMD anything you want. So
Don't mind me. I just got off work. I'm having a nice cold one right now.
that's all right.
But yeah, it's a fun time right now to be an independent wrestler, man. You can like, there's so many promotions, like all the way up. Like I'm Port Colborne pretty often now with MWO, even NWX in St. Catharines, CWF. I've got to wrestle for all those guys out there, and that's just in the Niagara region. There's stuff all over Hamilton, Toronto. You go into Quebec, the States, everywhere, man. It's crazy right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with the three viewers right now, whether they don't know how to comment with the live chat, I mean, it's on the actual like if you're using a computer to watch this, then it'd be easier. But I don't know about
Yeah, yeah.
if you're on your phone. A question I actually thought of: what advice do you have for someone who wants to get started in the wrestling business?
Man, find a good like first thing you got to do is you got to find a good school, and something that works for you. So like for me, I started in Mississauga, and like I live in Hamilton. It was hard to get to Mississauga all the time, but I found a way for a little bit, and then Hamilton Pro opened up, and it was so much easier for me. But all it really, man, the only advice I have is find someone reputable that can train you. Which nowadays there's a lot of options, and then just dedicate your time, man. You got to give it your all, just like anything. So whether you want to, be you have dreams to be a famous wrestler, or you want to just do it for fun, or everyone has different reasons, but you just got to give it 100%. So you got to go to training, do all the right things you can do, and just learn and watch footage, man. Never stop watching wrestling. I watch wrestling like all the time, man. It's crazy. My wife, thank God, my wife likes it because I'm watching it constantly.
I agree. Yeah, so it doesn't look like anybody's commenting, so I will move on to the next segment of this interview by showing a little clip of one of your matches that you've had. So I will use the screen share function on here.
Yeah, that thing's cool. I've never done this before with the Hangouts app. It's cool. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I just started using it about 28 podcasts ago. Actually,
Yeah,
no, not
man,
28.
you've been going for a
Maybe,
while. That's awesome.
yeah, a whole year actually. I've been doing podcasts here and there.
Congrats, man. It's a tough gig.
Thank you. No, I wouldn't say the whole 28 podcasts have been through Google Hangouts. Maybe, gee, from 5 and on. So that's crazy. But yeah.
No
So
kidding.
here's one of your matches from CWO, you against Rip Impact, as you said. So here you go.
Oh,
I will
wicked.
turn the sound on. So Rip Impact is obviously getting the crowd going and looking for a finish here.
Yeah, he's good at that. He likes to pander and get everyone into it.
For sure. Oh, here you come. Yep. Ooh,
Yeah, I wouldn't get as high as I wanted to.
that's all right.
That's okay. This is pretty though.
Yeah, oh, here's your finish right here. Pump handle flatliner. I love it.
Call me the bruiserweight, bud.
That's the finish. What a win.
He's a trainer,
I
man.
gotta I gotta say, I love that finishing move. I've always been a fan of Pete Dunne, and the fact that he uses it now, like you've used it in this match.
Yeah,
Like we were saying before we started the podcast, you should bring it back for sure.
yeah. Maybe I got a couple matches this weekend. Maybe I can find a way to bust it out in one of them.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so back to our screen now. Other move that I like that you do actually is a 450 splash. That event that you were up against Rip, obviously you were saying before the podcast that doesn't have, the right ceiling height for you to be able to do it, so it's kind of hard.
Oh
Being a
yeah.
big guy like you to do a 450 splash is incredible.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, so
It's tough. Yeah, like that's the only reason it's impressive. If I start losing weight or start eating right or stop drinking beer, it's not going to be as impressive when I do it anymore.
exactly. So yeah, I don't know if you had any questions for me. I don't normally ask for questions towards, the person doing the interview, but
How you liking doing podcasts, man? It's a tough gig.
yeah, I'm getting used to it. Obviously, I'm getting the experience to interview people.
For sure.
I've had two big guys, I should say, on here now. One being Steve Wilson, Congo Kong, and Jean Pierre Goulet, aka Tomer Shalom. So
Oh, nice. That's both cool dudes. That's awesome.
yeah, so I mean, getting my name out there and getting stars like that on my podcast is incredible.
For sure,
Um,
man.
but yeah, I'd again like to take the time to thank you for being on the podcast.
And you know what? I'll like it. I'm going to share it and stuff too. That's all you got to do, man. Just keep getting those reps in, just like wrestling, and then you get better and better and better. This was awesome, man. This is really cool. I wouldn't know that you've only done a couple interviews. This one pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. I've had other like indie guys from NWX and stuff too, but not
Yeah,
yeah. So it's pretty cool.
I like those guys at NWX, man. They're cool guys.
For sure. But yeah, so well, thank you again.
Yeah, no worries, buddy. I really thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, take care, man.
Yeah, you too, man. Take care.
Take it easy.
See you, buddy.
See ya. All right, so that was Brett Michael David. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure to go like me on Facebook. Like not me, but like the Big Rob's Little Podcast Facebook page by searching up Big Rob's Little Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at official BRLP. That is at OFFICIAL I just had to do that. I don't know exactly who my next guest will be. I actually have two people planned, hopefully, depending on their schedule. Hopefully they'll be on. I will announce, obviously, on Facebook who my next guest will be. My next podcast will be next Friday, hopefully. You can catch me tomorrow on the Main Event Podcast as Sean and I will sit down with Youth Gone Wild member and returning guest for the Main Event Podcast, Chris Lambert. So yeah, we'll be talking about NWX, Youth Gone Wild, the whole situation with the tag team division right now. That's about it. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. No comments with the viewer Q&A like I had hoped for, but that's all right. Maybe next time. Maybe next time we'll get some questions. I'll tell you now, I hope to have Nolan Pink and Andre, the new NWX Tag Champs, on my podcast. But if that doesn't work out, obviously, like I said, I'll announce on my Facebook page who my next guest will be, and of course, when my podcast will take place next. So, until then, guys, this has been Big Rob's Little Podcast with Brett Michael David as the guest for today. Take care, guys.